And move to the weather now with meteorologist Pat Cavlin. Pat, I heard we just received preliminary information regarding yesterday's storms. What does that look like?
All right, so Trayson, the National Weather Service has to go out and actually do surveys of the damage from the storms that we had. Now, yesterday they told us that just based on the radar information and photos and videos that were sent in from folks, they could tell us that at least 5 tornadoes had touched down. But we didn't know anything about the strength, the intensity, how long they were on the ground. We've got some of that information right now. So we had 2 EF-3 tornadoes yesterday. The first was up in Porter Heights, where we had all that damage in Montgomery County. You had several buildings destroyed. You had a firehouse that was badly damaged. Then in Chambers County, another EF-3 tornado. We were tracking that one on the air yesterday. Also, Brazoria County, an EF-2 tornado with 1 fatality. We had a brief EF-1 tornado in Dickinson, and then an EF-0 in Bay Cliff. Let's go area by area and just talk about these. We'll start with the Chambers County tornado. Again, this had an EF-3 rating with winds between 136 and 165 miles per hour. This one actually came across Galveston Bay, made landfall, if you will, in between Smith Point and Anahuac, and then kind of tracked along the county here right towards the Seabreeze community. That path length still needs to be determined because it continued out towards Jefferson County, out towards the Beaumont and Port Arthur area. The Montgomery County tornado, this was the other EF-3 that we had. This is where mobile homes were destroyed. You had brick structures that were badly damaged. This path length also to be determined, but again, EF-3 with wind between 136 and 165 miles per hour. The Bay Cliff tornado, only an EF-0 on the ground briefly, winds between 65 and 85 miles per hour. We had the Dickinson tornado. This was an EF-1 with winds between 86 and 110 miles per hour, only on the ground for 250 yards. But enough to do significant damage to a few homes in the area. And then this was the Brazoria County tornado, an EF-2 with a path length of 8.8 miles. That resulted in the destruction of the Walt Disney Elementary School and 1 fatality. Here is what this looked like on radar yesterday. Starting at 10 a.m., we had our first warnings popping up here and our first tornado reports around the Katy area. That's the one that dropped that significant EF-3 tornado up in eastern Montgomery County. Then to the south, this one started in Brazoria, went through Galveston County, and then eventually into Chambers County, where it continued then from there into Louisiana. Look at all of the storm reports that this storm system produced. On Saturday, this was a major outbreak. We started with severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings here in southeast Texas, and from there it raced across the south. In total, there were 180 severe thunderstorm warnings, 106 tornado warnings across 10 states, including Ohio, and the storm reports were prolific. We had hundreds of storm reports extending from Texas all the way into the Ohio Valley.